Pasadena, California. One game is not going to define your season, but there is a caveat there as it pertains to the University of Utah. When you go where many of these Utes went 10 months ago, and when a lot of those guys return, and when some of those guys utter the words college football playoff among the big picture goals, everything that goes on every Saturday is going to be placed under a microscope. Saturday's 42-32 loss to UCLA at the Rose Bowl was bad. The defense gave up too many yards. The front seven again could not stop the run. A needless roughing the passer penalty at the most inopportune time gave momentum back to UCLA, which never gave it back. Cam Rising was very good, save for a poorly thrown interception. There were a couple of drops that would have gone for big gains. The kick return coverage was subpar all day. Everything is up for discussion. Well, almost everything. The CFP is now eliminated from the discussion. A potential Pac-12 title defense on December 2 in Las Vegas, while still very much in play, enters this week seeming just a little wobbly with no 6. Unbeaten USC next up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Maybe Saturday alone will not define Utah's season, but if it doesn't rally and figure some things out ahead of the Trojans visiting, that's what you're going to remember about 2022. This might just be who this Utah defense is. It's a 12-game season. Utah is now at the midway point. How many games is a big enough sample size to determine what a team is in any capacity, whether that's offense, defense, or special teams? If we hadn't already gotten there, I say we're there now, and I'm talking specifically about the defense. This is your personnel, this is your scheme, this is what you're doing. It's 6 games in, Utah is not making any drastic changes on the fly. The Utes entered Saturday ranked number 6 in the Pac-12 and 46th nationally against the run, 123.2 yards per game. Take the 212 yards UCLA rushed for, and that average jumps to 138 yards per game. Not good enough, certainly not up to Utah's general standards. They all count to be certain, but if we take just the 3 best opponents Utah has faced, Florida, Oregon State, and UCLA, the run defense has given up an average of 226 yards per game. Utah's raw numbers in terms of total defense entering the day are actually fantastic, ranking number 1 in the Pac-12 and 13th nationally at just under 279 yards per game. That number has a lot to do with, and Kyle Whittingham alluded to this a few weeks ago, Sioux and San Diego State not looking to throw the ball much, so the passing defense number, which was at 1.90 yards per game, probably was not indicative of, well, anything at that point.